Tina.
Today, the Texas Education Agency will release STAR test results for 3rd through 8th grade. And last week, we learned how Texas public high school students performed on the STAR test this past spring. And here are some notable improvements. 47% of high schoolers are meeting grade level expectations for algebra, which is an increase of 2 percentage points from the previous spring. 62% of students met expectations in biology, up by 5 percentage points from 2024. So moving in the right direction.
Yeah, that's some good news. I like to hear that. Some organizations doing their part to help Central Texans find medical care and doctors. Today, the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, or HAM, hosting the 4th annual HAM Loves You event. Central Texas musicians, DJs, even music teachers can get hearing screenings, blood tests, and other access to housing and health resources. It's at HAM's building, that of course on South 1st Street, begins at 10 a.m., runs until 4 p.m. this afternoon.
Austin Tree of the Year awards are back, and you can now nominate your favorite tree in 5 categories, including unique tree and schoolyard tree. This is so Austin, right?
That's cool.
The contest is back after a 3-year hiatus as a way to help raise awareness about trees and the environment. And you can nominate a tree from now until November 7th, which is Texas Arbor Day. We've got a link to participate on KVUE.com. I always like a tree that's kind of like oddly shaped, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of like, you know, kind of like me. I've got my, my quirks and,
I don't think you're oddly shaped.
Oh, no, I meant like just my personality. I didn't mean my actual shape. But that is kind of funny. That's not what I meant, but.
It's got to be a live oak tree.
Yvonne, you remind me of an oak, actually.
No!
You're nice, solid oak.
She goes, it reminds me of me, oddly shaped.
I meant personality, like all over the place.
Okay, y'all, we're still seeing slowdowns in Buda right now, 28 miles per hour, waking up to that. That crash cleared at William Cannon. Also still seeing delays on 290 coming in the westbound lanes at 40 miles per hour. Not too shabby for my round rockers today. We're looking good through Wells Branch and Walnut Forest. We haven't had any crashes there today, and looking good out there.
Yeah, and looking hot. It'll be sunny. Yeah, a good day to find a tree, to find some shade and kind of just hang out under. We will be looking at the heat continuing into tomorrow with some rain chances returning by Thursday.
Give love to the trees that aren't perfect. That's what I was trying to say.
I like a good pine, a big tall pine tree.
There we go. There we go. How about bonsai?
Oh, those are hard to take care of.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KVUE Plus app everywhere you stream.
All right, good Tuesday morning to you. Thanks for joining us on KVUE Plus. Daybreak Plus is what we're calling this, streaming for free on your television. I'm Brian Mays. Hannah's here, Casey's here. I want to send a special hello, though, before we get started, to Malia's mom. In California, Malia says she gets up early to watch Malia in the morning do her stories, and she's going to be on. Don't you worry, Ms.
We love Malia.
She's going to be on.
Sitting right over there.
Yes, Malia. What is your mom's name?
Elisa.
Elisa. Thank you for watching from California.
That's great to have you with us, and everybody else, all 6 others of you out there that are watching.
Oh, we don't know the numbers yet.
I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
Oh, yes.
All right, what do we have today? We have more heat, right?
More heat, yes. Heat and humidity, and what's also going to be a pretty sunny day today. Make sure you're slathering on that sunscreen. Our UV index will be high. Sunshine will be out, and temperatures will be up there in the middle and upper 90s. I think today actually will be a couple degrees warmer than where we were yesterday even. We've got high pressures. We travel about 18,000 feet high in the atmosphere. It's parked right over western parts of Texas, Arizona, and Mexico. This is what will continue to bring us some pretty dry conditions as well. You can see the storm systems that are currently skirting just to the south of us or portions of the central plains. Those will never make their way here, as this will be blocking them from heading in our direction and leading to what's just going to be kind of a more typical central Texas summertime forecast this week, where we'll continue with the drier conditions and the hotter conditions as we head into the next few days. Notice what we will feel, and I'm sure what you felt yesterday or the day before, is a lot of moisture at the surface. We've got those dew points out there in the tropical range that is going to lead to our heat index climbing to up to about 105 degrees by around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon in the hottest part of the day. So make sure you're taking those heat safety precautions today, drinking plenty of water, and just trying to avoid that hour, those kind of hours between 3 o'clock through about 5 o'clock, where we're really dealing with some of the toughest of the heat out of the day. Humidity remaining high through this week. We will start to see some low-end rain chances to return to the forecast here very soon. I'll show you which day will bring the next best opportunity to see some needed rain coming up in just a bit.
Oh, that humidity, it just makes it feel a lot hotter than it really is. Don't let it sneak up on you. It's 7:04 and we are waking up bright and early here in beautiful Austin, Texas, and we're still sitting in traffic. Man, every time it's like every 20 minutes, it's kind of a different story here on this stretch. So we had a crash a little bit earlier, and now we're just still seeing some delays in the northbound lanes heading out towards Bluff Springs. And we had some construction, we had some car trouble. Looking still really good though in the southbound lanes if you are heading out towards Buda today. And once again, you can see there's movement, just not very fast, but it did clear out. And this is a pretty good looking map, okay? We're looking pretty good this morning. And then here, once again, is just kind of that little trouble spot. And then once you get past there, you've got a straight shot into downtown Austin. Looking really good as well in Walnut Forest and Wells Branch. It's even been pretty sleepy on Mopac today as well. And that crash also cleared in Manor. Still seeing a little bit of stop and go in the westbound lanes, approaching Bella Parkway, but really not too shabby out there. You can see Manor and Buda, though, not moving very fast. The rest of us looking good if you're coming in from the Hill Country today on 290, 52 miles per hour right now in Oak Hill.
Power to the people. No one is illegal.
It was a noisy night in downtown Austin last night. For the third night this week, people protested against the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policy. Organizers called it a noise demonstration. Some people played trumpets, banged pots and pans, made any kind of noise they could to draw attention to the issue. Austin Students for a Democratic Society organized last night's protest outside the J.J. Pickle Federal Building. Police and firefighters set up barricades to stop anyone from going too close to the actual building there. The group said the protest was held in solidarity with the anti-ICE demonstrations happening in Los Angeles, California. One woman there said it was important to show up because she's a child of immigrants and says there's a lot of anxiety and fear in the community.
People are being targeted, is why I'm here also, because it's not just about for them to do their due process. They're literally being targeted.
No arrests were reported at last night's protest in Austin. Police released key details about Saturday's protest. It happened in downtown Austin. You're taking a look at video from that now. 3 people were arrested over the weekend. 3 police officers were injured, according to APD. Police currently reviewing their use of force incidents, including 2 takedowns and the use of a pepper ball during that event over the weekend. Large groups were seen walking on the roads around the Capitol until around 11 p.m. on Saturday night. Authorities revealed the suspect in the Minnesota shootings had a list of dozens of targets, including lawmakers and public servants across several states. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the very latest.
Authorities now revealing the man they say was behind a politically motivated assassination in Minnesota had a hit list of 45 targets that included members of Congress, lawmakers from Minnesota to Michigan, Planned Parenthood leaders, and healthcare workers.
It is no exaggeration to say that his crimes are the stuff of nightmares.
57-year-old Vance Bolter is accused of shooting and killing Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband at their home early Saturday.
She was just an incredible public servant and cared tremendously about getting good results for Minnesotans.
Bolter also accused of wounding State Senator John Hoffman and his wife a few miles away after disguising himself as a law enforcement officer. Hoffman's daughter calling 911, triggering a manhunt that ended late Sunday when Bolter was found in the woods near his home.
Stand up with your hands empty and above your head.
Authorities now say Bolter had driven to 2 other lawmakers' homes. One was on vacation, and they say Bolter only left the other house after police arrived.
This was a targeted attack against individuals who answered the call to public service.
Meanwhile, Utah Senator Mike Lee is facing scrutiny over his social media posts. One included a photo of Bolter before he was captured, along with the caption, "This is what happens when Marxists don't get their way." Lee refusing to answer questions about his posts.
Do you stand by the post that you made on X?
With threats against lawmakers surging in recent years, the Hortmans' children, who lost their parents in this latest violence, releasing a statement saying, "Hope and resilience are the enemy of fear. Our parents lived their lives with immense dedication to their fellow humans. This tragedy must become a moment for us to come together." Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
All right, that was Rhiannon Alley reporting. Now, 2 U.S. representatives from Texas say their names appeared on that list. Representative Veronica Escobar from El Paso and Joaquin Castro of San Antonio, both Democrats. They released a statement that read in part, "Politically motivated violence and violence of any kind have no place in our democracy." And it goes on to say, "We all have a role to play in moving our country toward healing." That is a quote. In the next few years, you might see more battery electric vehicles on the roads in Austin. The city of Austin plans to just about double their battery electric vehicle fleet by the year 2030. KVUE's Malia Masamoto joins us now here in the studio this morning. Malia, city leaders say these vehicles have also led to some pretty good savings, too.
That is right, Brian. Well, since the city started using the battery electric vehicles in their fleet back in 2017, they've saved $2.5 million in fuel and maintenance. And by nearly doubling their fleet, they're also expecting to double those savings in the next 5 years. Currently, the city has 373 battery electric vehicles, or BEVs as they call them, in their fleet. By 2030, they're hoping to have 703 of them. And Rick Harlan, the assistant director for the City of Austin's Fleet Mobility Services Department, said that growth is not slowing down. They plan to expand their BEV inventory by 14% each year. Now, right now, a majority of those vehicles are light-duty sedans, SUVs, and like pickup trucks like those ones. But in the future, they're hoping more battery-powered technology for larger heavy-duty trucks is created.
But when we get to the heavy-duty and medium-duty vehicles, that's when the real opportunity for savings and carbon reduction comes into play. So in the next few years, we're hoping technology improves with batteries, and we're going to be off to the races, and we'll definitely take advantage of it if it fits our service duty and without compromising city services.
Well, currently, the city is working on 2 pilot programs, one with APD for police pursuit BEVs and another with the waste management program for refuse trucks. And with the expansion of their BEV fleet, the city also plans to nearly double the number of charging ports at city facilities by 2030. In the studio, Malia Masamoto, KVUE News.
All right, Malia, that's good to know. You know, with dump trucks, things like that, if they, like you say, if they use the same route over and over again, they'll get to know how that battery use is calculated.
It would be so quiet down the street. No trash. That would
Can you
be
imagine?
amazing. God.
Yeah, it would be a lot different.
Great. I would love that.
That's for sure. All right, Malia, thanks a lot. We'll see you again in just a bit.
And it is 7:12 on this Tuesday morning. Austin Energy is warning customers to be prepared for more outages during storms. A new report found last month's microburst, the 3rd worst storm in utility history. In case you didn't know, it brought high winds, hail, and rain. 124,000 customers lost power, and it actually took 4 days to restore power to all those customers. The utility spokesperson says, these intense storms are getting harder for their team to forecast, and customers need to be ready.
But it seems like these storms that are coming through now are more severe, and they're certainly more frequent. So it's keeping us on our toes, and it's something that we're having to employ a great deal of strategy as we look forward to the years to come, the months to come, the seasons to come.
Austin Energy reps say they saw an improvement in communication, which has been, an issue in recent years during that microburst, and they continue to make those changes to improve response times. Crews replaced 91 power poles and 52 transformers while restoring 32,000 feet of overhead cable. Austin Energy says they learned lessons from previous winter storms to improve those response times and, of course, that communication during the microburst recovery.
Happening now, Austin leaders trying a new approach to tackle homelessness in the city. ECHO, the organization there, Ending Community Homelessness Coalition, will now lead the Austin Homelessness Advisory Council. The 13-member group is made up of people who've experienced homelessness. They've worked closely with the Downtown Community Court to connect people with housing and services. ECHO hopes this change will give people who live on the streets a stronger voice in shaping solutions.
We have a voice to speak about our narrative that most people don't know anything about.
Having the advisory council now facilitated by ECHO, I think brings a group much more closer to the front end when new policies, systems, programs, or practices are being considered here in the city.
Staff with ECHO say having a closer relationship with AHAC will allow the staff to better audit all of their efforts to get people housed to find out what's truly working.
And Georgetown city leaders are rolling out new steps to tackle the rise in homelessness there. Officials say this comes after community concerns and enforceability issues. So last week, council members initially approved several ordinances, including prohibiting a person from sitting or lying down on public property, aggressive panhandling, and banning food distribution in public parking lots, something local nonprofits say many rely on.
I don't think that it's the dignity and compassion our city really wants, is just to ignore them and create a hostile environment. How do I look for a job if I'm hungry? How do I do anything if I'm starving, right? And then I am going to ask you for giving me money if I'm hungry. So I do believe that everybody deserves the dignity of food.
City leaders say these ordinances aren't meant to fix the problem, but they are tools for law enforcement. City officials say they are committed to working with local groups to ensure those in need have access to services. City Council plans to come back for a second reading of that ordinance come June 24th.
You know, these days, buying, selling, and trading often means an online transaction. Popular websites like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and OfferUp make it easy to scroll and find exactly what you're looking for. But when it's time to meet that person in person to seal the deal, Consumer Reports says there are a few simple steps that can help keep that transaction safe. No doubt there are bargain hunters on online community platforms, whether it's for furniture, clothing, or toys. When a buyer hands you the cash, give it a good look.
This has a very slick feel to it.
Right.
You know, but this one doesn't. It has more of a threaded paper feel.
Watch out for funny money. Some obvious, some are not. Officer Brent Fournier knows how to spot the fake cash. He says don't get duped with prop or movie money. Recently, this $100 bill was exchanged. Then a bank teller flagged it as fake. The Secret Service reports the threat of counterfeit continues to evolve because of advances in technology and the availability of scanning or printing devices. A recent study found the value of counterfeits in circulation at any moment is likely about $15 million. Officer Fournier says, do what's called tilt the note. Watch this color change.
In the corner, it has the amount of the note right here. You can see the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 100. You can't fake that. Here it looks gold, correct? And I hope you can get this on the camera. When you turn it 45 degrees, it turns green.
That means the bill is legit. If you can, avoid cash. Instead, after inspecting the product, use an app such as Apple Cash or Cash App. But be aware it may offer limited fraud protection. To protect yourself, send a small test payment, maybe a few cents or $1, or scan the seller's in-app QR code to ensure that you're sending money to the right person. When you meet to collect your purchase, choose a well-lit, heavily trafficked public location. Never meet at someone's home. Meeting in front of a police station is a good choice, and some towns designate safe zones just for this purpose. Officer Fournier adds, tell a friend.
Let someone know where you're going to be at, the date and the time.
Never share any personal information, your home address, credit card number, or email address. Be sure to communicate through the site's messaging feature. If you move the conversation to email or text, you might lose some protections. All right, they say avoid buying used child car seats, used bike helmets, or other products where safety is critical. You don't want to go used with those things. Now, you don't know the product's history, they say. No deal is worth it. And make sure the item you're buying hasn't been recalled by searching for it. You can do that at recalls.gov.
It is 7:18 on this Tuesday morning. Starting July 1st, non-San Marcos residents will have to pay to park at City Park, which is a key access point to the San Marcos River. San Marcos residents can still park for free, but must register their vehicle online in advance and prove their residency. The city says the new fees will help maintain that beautiful park.
Austin's Birdies just landed a big honor at the 2025 James Beard Awards. It's like the Oscars for restaurants. The award recognizes the best chefs, best restaurants, best food in the country. Arjav Ezekiel, the co-owner and beverage director, took home the award for outstanding professionalism in beverage service. The restaurant, known for pairing natural wines with seasonal walk-in dining. Oh man, it's a great place. Ezekiel and his wife opened Birdies in 2021. Other cities or other Texas chefs also took home awards, but that was fantastic to see.
It is so cute in there, and I love the name too, Birdies. It's just perfect. And a UK-based fusion rocket propulsion company announced it's opening a new office in the U.S. right here in Austin. A Pulsar Fusion spokesperson tells us that this move puts them in the heart of the rapidly growing American space and innovation ecosystem. The company develops hyper-fast space propulsion systems through what's called nuclear fusion. Way above my head in more ways than one, but hey, it claims this is an alternative with sufficient exhaust speed and thrust to propel spacecraft beyond the solar system. And in other local news, Eanes ISD Superintendent Dr. Jeff Arnett has announced plans to retire next month. He served as deputy superintendent for 6 years before becoming superintendent in 2022. Dr. Arnett plans to return to his previous job at the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. He said, "I'm getting back to the baseball."
I bet that's a fun job.
Right, I bet it is.
We said hello to Malia's mom earlier. We need to also send a shout out to Hannah's mom.
Yes, hi Lisa. Good morning.
Who is a viewer of KVUE Plus and Daybreak Plus.
Yes, she watches on cable and then switches over, so extra points there.
Oh,
we like her a lot.
Oh yeah, we got to get your parents.
I think they could be watching. It just depends on the day.
It just depends on the day. That's fair enough.
Could be if they're watching it, Mom and Dad.
Hello, Mom and Dad. We love all the mom and dads.
We're going to get to feel like 100 again today because, boy, it was great yesterday.
I know. It was really nice yesterday. I mean, it was hot yesterday and humid, but man, we had the sunshine, and we will continue with that as we head into what will be today. Hot and humid. The humidity will remain high all week long, and then we have what will be eventually some chances for some isolated showers and storms beginning Thursday. The weekend, stray storm, but really the main story here as we head into summer, it's just that kind of typical Central Texas heat.
That's why I don't mind the storms, because that's like I know at some point they just kind of drop off and stop coming.
I know, right?
And it helps to keep it down a little bit.
It does.
All right, y'all, we are going to do a little cut in here on cable, and then we'll be back here on streaming in a couple of minutes, and we'll see you right here again. Good Tuesday morning, Central Texas. How are you doing today? It is 7:23 here in beautiful Austin, Texas. Let's get you fixed up with your morning commute. Oh, honey, it has been a slow crawl coming in from South Austin per usual. But I mean, we had a crash earlier at William Cannon. We had some of that early morning construction. We had a stalled vehicle, and we're still not going very fast in the northbound lanes. Looking great, though, if you're traveling maybe southbound heading towards Buda, Kyle, San Marcos. But you can see also feeling that slow crawl over here on the frontage road as well. So that crash cleared at William Cannon, but we do have a new crash in South Austin right now, and this is just impacting the entry ramp. So we've got one lane blocked on the service road on Bastrop Highway, impacting travel on westbound at Mentopolis Drive, not causing a full closure or anything on Bastrop Highway, but just a minor hiccup on that entry ramp. Looking pretty good though in Walnut Forest and Wells Branch today for coming and going, and even pretty quiet over on Mopac as well. And you know what? That heat is just cranking up.
Yeah, hot and humid. You can see the sun. It is out and shining, blue sky. We won't even see a whole lot of cloud cover today. It's going to be one of those days featuring maybe a couple puffy clouds. Certainly none of them will be producing any rain. So the main story is just going to be the hot conditions. Temperatures right now at the door, lower 70s, Austin Airport to Camp Mabry. Currently those winds are to the south at around 3 miles per hour. I do expect we'll have a little bit more of a breeze today kicking up, but that southerly breeze, it's going to continue to keep things warm and humid. 97 is where we're heading for our air temperatures, and eventually that heat index pushing all the way up to around 105 degrees for today. So it's going to be another tough day of heat. That wind will be gusting up to around 25 to 30 miles per hour, pulling in the warm air that we again will feel for tomorrow. We'll start to see the return of some spotty showers and storms on Thursday, mainly dry though as we head into the weekend with highs back into near 94 degrees.
How you doing? Are you choking or something?
I was doing that on purpose.
Oh, well, you got me. You got me. Welcome back to Daybreak Plus, streaming free on your TV.
Why is this free, by the way? We should charge for this. Right, guys? Right, guys? Who's with me?
We're not going to get a penny. You know we're not. I will say, though, Brian just came in and brought me those. What do they call them?
Hydroponic strawberries. They're my new favorite thing.
It's good.
Oh, they're so
yeah,
delicious.
it was really delicious.
They're like me, sweet but tangy.
There we go. That's exactly how I would describe you to someone.
All right, I'm settled now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. No, it is time to get a check on the forecast here on Daybreak Plus with KC Plus.
Yeah, KC Plus. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be one of those days where strawberries sound good, juicy watermelon, just one of those juicy fruit kind of days to kind of cool you on down and keep you hydrated too, because we're heading into what's going to be another tough day of heat. Currently out the door, we've got a blue sky, few passing clouds, but this is going to be pretty much it throughout the day. We're not going to see any clouds produce any rain today, and we really won't see much in terms of cloud cover either. A whole lot of sunshine will be warming things on up. We're at 71 out at the airport, 72 for Camp Mabry. Those winds of the south at around 3 miles per hour will be picking up at times. We will have a little bit more of a breeze to deal with today. I think some gusts between 25, 30 miles per hour. But the bigger story is just going to be those warmer temperatures. A whole lot of sunshine today as those highs will be climbing back to around 97 degrees. It's going to be, again, another tough day of heat. The heat index is hot as 105 degrees for today. Drier weather continues today and tomorrow. We'll see the humidity still up though. Despite that, no rain, but man, it'll make it feel even hotter with that heat index remaining in the triple digits. I am tracking some rain chances set to return for the second half of this week. I'll show you which day will feature our next best opportunity to see some needed rain across the area coming up in just a bit, along with that full 70 forecast.
Might as well be raining with the humidity. Thank you so very much, Casey. It's 7:28. It's Tuesday. Good morning, Central Texas. Let's get you up and out the door here in beautiful Austin. And we are still seeing slowdowns in the northbound lanes coming in from South Austin, but looking a little bit better. But, you know, it's just been one of those mornings, a little bit of everything. We do have a new incident in South Austin on Bastrop Highway impacting the entry ramp westbound at Metropolis Drive. Really not an issue, though, getting around if you have an early morning flight or just heading into South Austin in general right now. Those northbound lanes, though, through Bluff Springs, always factor that in. But the good news is that crash from earlier at William Cannon did finally clear out. And you can see we are looking really good in the southbound lanes. Let's take a look. Already starting to see some delays heading through Walnut Forest if you're coming in from Round Rock, right there starting at Palmer and then kind of feeling that down the way. And then right over here on Mopac, also seeing some delays as always approaching the Domain, but no active crashes in either location as of right now. That can always quickly change. Seeing some stop and go approaching Bella Parkway in the westbound lanes on 290 in Manor. That crash south of there near FM 973 cleared up. But take a look at these speeds. I mean, seeing delays today on 290 if you're coming in from Oak Hill or Dripping Springs or coming in from the Hill Country, and 24 miles per hour in Buda. Manor feeling the slowdowns, and Round Rock 32 miles per hour right now southbound if you're coming to visit us here in Austin.
Well, a fresh warning from the man who helped create artificial intelligence as we know it.
Jeffrey Hinton, often called the godfather of AI, says the technology could one day pose a threat to humanity. ABC's Lionel Moyes explains.
This morning, Jeffrey Hinton, the so-called godfather of AI, has a new warning about the technology he helped create.
I often say 10 to 20% chance they'll wipe us out.
In a new interview with podcast host Stephen Bartlett, Hinton, a Nobel Prize-winning computer scientist, says superintelligent machines could one day decide humans are no longer needed.
It's smarter than us, right? There's no way we're going to prevent it getting rid of us if it wants to. If you want to know what life's like when you're not the apex intelligence, ask a chicken.
Hinton also warning of the many threats artificial intelligence poses right now, including mass cyber attacks, bioengineered viruses, lethal autonomous weapons, and mass unemployment.
If I'm someone like a legal assistant, a paralegal, they're not going to be needed for very long. For mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody.
His advice for a safer path?
I'd say it's going to be a long time before it's as good at physical manipulation as us.
Okay.
And so a good bet would be to be a plumber.
Still, Hinton believes there's hope, saying despite the risks, AI holds immense promise.
It's going to be magnificent in healthcare and education and more or less any industry that needs to use its data. It's going to be able to use it better with AI.
But he warns the window to make sure AI is safe is closing fast.
We have to face the possibility that unless we do something soon, we're near the end.
Hinton predicts AI will become better than people at most tasks in the next 10 to 20 years. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
I mean, that's bleak. I'm sorry, I was cold. I brought up my blanket.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Wait,
so comfortable up here.
He made it seem so bleak, but we keep talking about the importance of these trade jobs. That's why we always try to highlight like CTE programs at schools.
Sure.
You know, like just some that they can't be replicated. You know what I mean? So like plumbers, and you would say maybe welders. I would think. I don't know.
Most construction
a lot of
related
construction.
jobs. I know that the fabrication of the products they use can be done with artificial intelligence, but the actual unclogging of the toilet isn't going to be done by a robot. I guess it could be done.
Or electrician. I mean, I don't think that could be done by a robot, you know?
I don't know.
So those trade technical jobs are so important. And we were just talking to our kids about that yesterday. We were just saying it's so important that you learn a skill, you learn a trade, you know?
You use AI. You use AI occasionally, don't you?
Occasionally I do, yeah. And I mean, sometimes
it's helpful. I can see as a tool, it can be helpful, but I don't want it to replace me as the anchor of Daybreak Plus. You know what I mean?
But well, I don't know about that.
Maybe I do
want it to.
Maybe I do. Daybreak Plus.
Maybe.
The things you think about, right? I better get out of this hole I've dug. Let's talk a little sports now. Texas softball. I love Texas softball. That Mia Scott, did you watch any of that?
She is phenomenal.
Oh, she was so fun to watch. She's going pro. She said she wasn't, but then she decided to go pro.
It's okay. You know, she's joining the newly formed Athletes Unlimited Softball League. And Scott helped Texas softball win its first ever national championship earlier this month, and she joins the Volts. I like the name of that team. The Volts will play 4 games at Dell Diamond next month. That's a wonderful facility there.
I bet you $1 that a lot of people show up to watch it when the Volts play there in Round Rock.
So.
She had a knee injury. It was just such a great story. Had that grand slam. Oh, I love it when sports, kind of mixes with fun things that you like to watch on television.
Well, that's something about sports. I think everyone can get behind sports. You know what I mean? It can unify everybody.
Especially Texas Longhorn sports. I think most people, 99% of people enjoy Texas, right?
I think 99.9% of people.
I think you're right. And that was fun. Boy, she was fun to watch. That team is going to be good now because a lot of those players that were on the championship team were just,
I think I'm good.
You warmed up now? Are now going to be back, including the pitcher, Kavan, and the catcher, Atwood. Oh, man, it's fun to watch.
It's going to be really nice.
How about this? A Father's Day prank at a small North Texas church has gone viral for all the right reasons. You may have seen it on your social media feed already.
Jobin Paniker with our sister station takes us behind the scenes of this surprise twist that really took the entire congregation at St. Anne's Catholic Parish to pull off. Everybody was in on it.
Very stylish.
Oh, yeah.
A lamp to my feet is your word, a lamp to my path.
This Sunday at St. Anne Parish in Capel went a little different. And by that, we mean the same.
I don't know how they kept it quiet.
It just happened to also be Father's Day.
I mean, it just goes to show,
Kristen Combo is a parishioner, and she had an idea for their small group.
It started with just a few friends, and then it just started getting bigger and bigger as more people heard about it.
Are y'all doing a thing?
The Father's Day prank.
Y'all did the thing!
Meant for 25.
And then right there, everybody got it for Father's Day.
Turned into 200.
It was hard not to notice.
Whole swarm of seafoam green, just walking through.
The moment your Sunday best, you soon realize, is everyone's best.
It was immediate that as soon as I walked in, I was like,
oh, you. All right, let's go take a picture.
Who needs just a picture when these reaction videos say it all?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Using covert texts and emails and some cute convincing from the children.
Who's saying no to that?
The women of St. Anne got a lot of the men to wear the same Christ-inspired polo.
I don't know how many of them might have lied to their husbands in the intervening, but I think they just woke up and said, hey, here's a really nice shirt, you should wear it on Sunday.
It made for a special moment before and after Mass in the courtyard.
People yesterday were smiling, and they were laughing, and they were joyful. At the end of the day, it's all about community.
What's that scripture? Love is patient, love is kind, love is buying matching shirts in bulk.
The church is alive, and so are its people.
In Capel, I'm Jobin Paniker.
Aww. So I grew up in Capel, and we had. What are you? Yeah. What in the?
I've got like.
What are you struggling?
Yeah, he got tied up.
She's me last Friday. Remember when I turned into a pumpkin and my microphone just started falling off? The wheels just start coming off the bus.
It happens to one of us. One of us just kind of malfunctions. Yeah. But you're from Capel.
Yes. Okay. So we had the carnival and it was really fun. And so you'd look for your crush at the carnival. You would go, and there was this.
Did you have more than one?
One year I was just really focused on this one boy. And anyways, he met me under the Ferris wheel in Capel, and the truth is, I ran away from him.
You got
all week long. Me too.
All week long, I was so excited to see him, and I got so scared. I ran off, and I think it kind of ruined it. Well, anyways, it's fine.
It was meant to be. Yeah,
it was meant to be. Now I've got a gorgeous Australian boy, and we're good. We're happy.
You get worked out. It worked out. Does he have a green shirt like that? You need to get him a shirt like that.
Right? Yeah, he needs a little minty, because also it looked breathable. It really did.
It looks like you said daiquiri ice cream.
Daiquiri ice at Baskin Robbins flavor.
Chip too. Like
Yes.
We're just out here thinking about ice cream.
We're always thinking about
I haven't been
food.
to Baskin Robbins in ages. They still have them around, right?
Yes, 31 flavors.
Right?
Yeah, they do. They have one by Maudie's off of Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I used to always get the ice
pralines
cream
and
birthday
cream.
cakes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Those were so good.
Birthday cakes
Those cakes go hard. Have you ever had those cakes?
No, but I love how we went from a church shirt story to ice cream cakes. Literally in less than a minute, we did that. That was pretty amazing.
It's a skill.
I like it.
But you know, any kind of ice cream, anything that'll melt, you got to eat it fast in this heat.
You do, yeah. It's hot, it's humid. I mean, we're only days away from summer, which is 3 days out. That kicks off on Friday. A little holiday countdown here to just show you how close we are to some of these things. July 4th, 17 days away. Crazy to think that we're already pretty much halfway through the year now. Labor Day, 76 days away. And if you're looking forward to fall, yes, I know this heat kind of makes it tough, kind of makes you want some of the cooler conditions. 97 days away from the fall equinox. Of course, we have to get through the summer solstice first, and we also have to get through the summertime Texas heat first. Temperatures out the door, middle 70s for most of us, low 70s out across the hill country. We're off to another mild, kind of humid start, but pretty seasonable for this time of year. That's right around where we should be for the month of June. Out the door currently, we're off to this dry start as opposed to what we had yesterday where we were tracking a couple of those showers and storms. Humidity forecast, it stays up there in the tropical range for the next several days. So the humidity, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Today and tomorrow, though, likely at least featuring the peak of the heat before we'll start to see our temperatures slowly come at least down to average as we head towards the later part of the week. It's going to be hot today. In fact, I think today will likely be running a couple degrees hotter than what we had yesterday. Taking a look at our future tracker, clouds will continue to lift out, mostly sunny. Those winds out of the south will be gusting at times today, so a little bit of a breeze for us, and we keep it dry even as we head into your Wednesday. So completely dry conditions today and tomorrow. I think our next best opportunity for some needed rain will come Thursday. Isolated showers and storms, it won't be much. Notice a lot of that moisture is going to be focused again for the coastal plains or eastern zone, so along and east of I-35. But by Friday and Saturday, as we get into the upcoming weekend, those rain chances will be likely lowering again. So Thursday, about a 20% chance for those showers and storms, and then we reduce that to just a chance for a stray storm Friday and Saturday. As you're making those weekend plans, it's looking fairly quiet. A lot of us won't see any rain at all as we head into Friday and the weekend, but all of us will be feeling the warmth. Temperatures today likely going to be warmer than yesterday. We'll be topping off near about 97 degrees for Austin, middle 90s across the coastal plains. Look for those high temperatures in low to middle 90s out across the hill country today. Our heat index, though, what it'll actually be feeling like by this afternoon, thanks to humidity, will range anywhere between 100 to up to 105 degrees for some areas. It's going to be another tough day of heat, especially towards the late afternoon hours. 4 or 5 o'clock is when we really reach the worst of the heat. So avoid that and avoid being outside at that point in time. Overnight lows back into low to middle 70s as we kick off your Wednesday morning. Right back up to about 97 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be another hot one for tomorrow with the mostly sunny sky. Quick check at that allergy count. Grass low, weeds still at medium. Pine now begin to show up in low concentrations. Hickory still low. Mold remaining high with alternaria present. That's courtesy of all that rain that we had last week. 7-day forecast as we take you into your Wednesday and Thursday. We keep with the heat, but again, by Thursday, we start to see some showers and storms back in the mix. We will slowly start to see these temperatures come down a little bit more for Friday for the summer solstice, longest day of the year, and Saturday and Sunday are highs back to our average of 94 degrees.
Thanks so much, Casey, and a good Tuesday morning to you, Central Texas. Thanks for hanging with us here on KVUE Plus. It is 7:42. Let's take a live look at I-35. I was kind of honing in on travel coming in from South Austin, but let's go ahead and check in for our good friends coming in from Round Rock and North Austin today. Here's a look I-35 at Owen Tech. It's kind of slowing down just a little bit, but we've got movement, which is what we like to see. And then they are just zipping right along in the northbound lane, so looking good there. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Also seeing a minor delay coming in from Georgetown. Once you get to East Palm Valley there at 79, just a little stop and go, but really not too shabby out there. Checking over in Leander and Cedar Park, good morning to you. Minor slowdowns on 183 approaching Lakeline Mall. 29 through Georgetown's looking pretty good, heading maybe out to Liberty Hill today. And then kind of just seeing, once again, typical slowdowns along I-35 heading towards the downtown area. But as far as crashes are concerned, this is what we have right now. A lane that is still blocked on the entry ramp. On the service road, westbound at Metropolis Drive along 71 there. Let's take a look, though. Looks like we do still have a little bit of a delay in the northbound lanes on 183 approaching the South Austin terminal. You can kind of see that coming in from Pilot Knob and Colton, coming in from Garfield. Looks like we have got a little bit of that stop and go there, kind of where it starts to meet at the 130 toll road. And that is approaching the Travis County softball complex there. And then heading over here where all those schools are for Del Valley. Taking a look across the rest of the area today, kind of just minor stop and go, but I'm really pleased with the lack of crashes that we've had. That is always very pleasant to not have very many crashes. Good morning, Burnett. Seeing some minor delays on 281 northbound where it meets with 29 there. Let's go ahead and check east over here and see how things are hanging maybe over here in Bastrop. Good morning to you. That little trouble spot there is always something when Camino Real turns into 71 heading towards Wildwood. There's always a little delay there. Let's take a look over here in Page and Smithville. Good morning. LaGrange, looks like you guys got a little bit of a slowdown maybe if you were kind of coming and going from Lake Fayette or Oldenburg today. So good morning to you there heading towards 77. Other than that, we are looking pretty good if you were coming to visit us here in the Austin Metro. The main thing is find some shade and drink your water today. It's going to be hot out there.
That's right. Stay hydrated. That's the key on a day like today. All right. The man, the myth, the legend will return to the Coney Island stage this 4th of July.
Nathan's hot dog eating competition is allowing Joey Chestnut to compete this year. The 16-time champion was banned last year due to a sponsorship dispute. He says he's thrilled to return to the Coney Island stage, calling it a cherished tradition. Chestnut holds the record with 76 dogs in 10 minutes. You can watch the Nathan's hot dog eating competition on July 4th on ESPN.
All right, here are some numbers on that record-setting chow down in 2021. 7 hot dogs a minute, more than 7 hot dogs a minute. 76 hot dogs, nearly more than 20,000 calories. That's a lot. Since 2005, Joey Chestnut has eaten, in competition, 1,152 hot dogs just in this event alone. How about that? That's a lot. That's a lot of meat.
I knew this was going to happen. I'm sorry, I'm going to record this. I knew this was going to happen.
Look here.
Oh my gosh, I just knew it.
Lewis is here.
They've got the cups of water with the cups of water.
I know.
Water. That looks like that's a nice dog.
So we're hungry, so it's time for us. Thank you, Lewis.
All right, as long as they're cooked.
It's time for us to eat some hot dogs.
Just plain old hot dog with some water.
Okay.
Now these aren't from the gas station down the street.
No, I think our producer he grilled this up for us last night.
Still have the best food.
Do they? I'll take
so
your word for it.
So why do they do this? They take off the bun and then they
dip
it in the water. And then
you're getting in there.
And then it gets I'm not going to eat it. But when they do that, it makes it easier to go down.
No. I'll take your word for it.
Right. It goes down the pipe.
It shrinks it is what it happens, right?
I think it does. Have you noticed like the Black Widow? They all do that. Who's
the Black Widow?
Sonia Thomas. She's for the female. She does a really good job.
Oh, okay.
And she's the competitive eater. But I noticed that when they do that, I was like, why do they always dip it in there?
Because this bread takes up space. Also, bread is so hard to because you cotton.
Right?
So it's like, are you going to eat that?
Oh my God.
Heck no.
We need some mustard or something. I need some relish.
I know. We need some a little top and top. Are you
It's good.
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah, Kevin made them. They're really good.
All right, dip it in there, Casey. Let's see how I'll time you. See how fast it takes you to eat that whole hot dog.
No.
Ready? No?
You just go do a little TV thing.
How is it?
They're pretty good.
Are we actually going to time
good
it?
dog.
I feel like we should race now.
Now our mouths are full.
I can't do more than one.
This is why Daybreak Plus is free. I figured it out. This is why it's free. Is it good?
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Hey, try dipping it in water.
No.
I dare you. I'm not going to eat it, but I'm just saying, look.
Can you imagine, though?
It's
Think
shrunk.
about this.
It's
76 in 10 minutes.
No.
Oh, in 10
I
minutes is
cannot
crazy.
imagine.
No,
that's really
crazy.
I mean, I don't watch that because it's
protein.
disgusting, kind of like you.
No, I'm not touching that for
Right, oh yeah.
Right
No, but it's a science experiment. You did prove it gets smaller. So you just slide it down, I guess.
76 in 10 minutes, and that's the record. And he's going to try it again this year.
They also give away, at least for the females, a Pepto-Bismol belt.
Oh, is that right?
That's appropriate.
Sure,
That's an appropriate
They
sponsorship.
don't talk enough about what happens afterwards, but I think we all just, figure that part out.
I feel like it's like if you're eating that many hot dogs, you just have to almost like ignore like the taste. Like it's just like just forget that it's like a hot and just like shovel it down.
You're just like, it's like tunnel vision, right?
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Well, is there a documentary about Joey Chestnut? Because I'm curious how he got into this line of work. That's what
I find it so interesting.
It's like, how do you get into something like this? Like who? Like how do you be like, oh, I want to be a professional hot dog eater? Like that's what I want to be when I grow up.
He's the best.
He really tries to open up his jaw like a python. Seriously, like you know how they like it's kind of like almost unhinged like this part, and so like he just does all these jaw exercises, and then he puts like a rope, and I guess that's like water jugs to like strengthen the jaw. It's kind of bizarre. And then afterwards, you are not hungry, like at all, because you're like
the
this
chewing
is so
aspect
vile.
is important to note. I mean, you're just going to be munch. I bet your teeth get sore.
I mean, you probably the goal is to just like water and slide it down, like just slide down those glizzies. Right, one after the next. There you go, just eating the straight.
I can't eat the bread.
Now it was all freaky over there. Okay. So, anyways,
we good here, guys?
I think so.
We good with the
They're like
dog?
waiting for us to just like
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all can keep eating.
They did the experiment. It worked.
Pigeons are as iconic to New York City as yellow cabs in the Empire State Building, but this past weekend they weren't just part of the backdrop, they were the main event. Thousands flocked to a brand new celebration called Pigeon Fest, a feathered frenzy to crown the greatest New York pigeon of them all.
You're not supposed to feed the pigeons, right?
No.
No. Oh,
You
Danny
shouldn't
knew
feed anyone that.
has the story.
Can you get more New York than an event called Pigeon Fest? Over the weekend, thousands gathered to celebrate the bird with an estimated local population of 9 million. It was held next to a 16-foot pigeon sculpture at a park called the High Line, and festivities included games, merch, and most notably, a contest called the Pigeon Impersonation Pageant.
I just thought, oh my gosh, I have to take part in this.
Miriam here not only took part in the pigeon pageant, she took first place, earning the official title of Top Pigeon of NYC.
I really had no idea who was going to win. And especially through the costume, my vision and my hearing are very limited.
Miriam is a British artist who has lived in the city for 11 years now, and originally spent 4 weeks building her costume out of chicken wire and paper mache for Halloween. Also, here is video of her riding the subway, which New Yorkers probably didn't blink at. But thankfully, she held on to that costume, and Saturday she was put to the test, competing with 6 other pigeon enthusiasts. They were judged on plumage, aesthetic, and one emphatic performance.
Doing the pigeon.
Miriam went with Bert's iconic Doing the Pigeon dance from Sesame Street. Others chose a more avant-garde approach, having pieces of bread thrown at them. But what may surprise you is that, according to its organizers, Miriam will be the only winner of the Pigeon Impersonation Pageant ever.
Wait, we sequel everything. You're not doing this again?
No.
Why?
Because we don't repeat ourselves at the High Line. You own this title.
Wow, that's really, to know that is incredible.
I did ask Miriam how she plans to display her new pigeon trophy, and she said she plans to build a nest for it, because of course that's her plan. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
That's a good sound.
That was really good.
It makes me think of the pigeon lady in Home Alone. You know, the pigeons need love too.
Yeah, pigeons are cute.
Yeah, and the pigeon lady wasn't what anybody thought. She was actually a very sweet lady, right?
Lonely.
Looks can be deceiving.
That's right.
Well, a Long Island seafood restaurant has returned a very unique lobster back to the ocean. The lobster named Lorenzo is 21 pounds. Oh, Lorenzo's a big boy. He ate a lot of hot dogs. And he's estimated to be 110 years old. What? Lorenzo has lived at Peter's Clam Bar for a year and became a bit of a local celebrity, a pet of sorts. Lorenzo was pardoned and set free on Sunday, which happened to be National Lobster Day. The restaurant says he's now soaking up the salty breeze instead of butter. I kind of like that.
110.
Free Lorenzo.
Free Lorenzo.
I didn't know lobsters lived down.
Neither did I.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting. But imagine if they were like, they had him in a, like in a.
The big like tanks.
Yeah, tank there. Someone new came and just like cooked him up. They're like,
oh,
that was Lorenzo.
I want that one. And it's like,
Yeah.
actually, no, sorry, he's off limits.
That one is off
That's
limits.
our pal Lorenzo.
Big, beautiful Lorenzo.
Is that? I guess that's where where he was, right? In the little when you walk in and you.
Yeah, they kept him there for a year and he
the
grew.
Lobster, yeah.
That's
That was
crazy.
a year?
Well, yeah, so they caught him, and I think they initially were
yeah.
going to think about cooking him, and it looked they created a book and everything, and so the
Yeah.
whole community came together and said, free Lorenzo.
He
There you
grew,
go,
yeah. Lorenzo's getting larger. And he just got bigger and bigger.
Just filling out the entire tank.
And now where's he live? Just in the ocean, I guess.
In the ocean.
Just put him back in
Out
there.
the ocean.
Good, yeah.
He's probably, what happened to all that free food I was getting? Now I
I
gotta
know.
find my own
I've
stuff.
got to fend for myself.
Probably liked it better in the tank, I would think. But
No way.
Except for all his friends get taken.
Yeah, that must be really difficult.
I always think about people
Traumatizing.
that like go in and they're like, oh, I want that one, and I don't know. It's kind of sad.
Pick
I know.
out your.
Pick out
Thank
your-
God we don't do that at barbecue restaurants. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't do it.
Couldn't you imagine? You can't see the actual source. That's too much.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
I don't
never
even like
thought of
thinking about it. It makes me feel bad.
Never thought of that. I'll take that pig right there.
It's like, ooh.
That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't. Maybe somebody in Austin will start a pick your own cow
Oh, I
barbecue.
don't know. That sounds so bad.
Grim.
Peter will be like knocking on the door.
We're all going to be eating bean burgers this week. Okay.
Bean burgers.
burgers.
The bean
there
burgers
you
again.
go.
No seafood, no meat. Okay.
We can take one last look at our forecast, I think. We're heading into what's going to be another hot day for the next really couple days. 97 degrees today. Wednesday, 97 degrees. Mostly sunny sky. Will be nice and dry, but toasty. Thursday featuring a chance for some showers and storms. Our temperature starts to come down a little bit as we head into Friday and the weekend. Summer kicks off on Friday, longest day out of the year with a high of 95 degrees.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.